My nephew renovated, bought a house on Webster right by you. So Katie and Pepper live on number 10, which is like 60 something. And Pepper's right around the corner on Webster. Keith, I didn't realize how close it was. We went to John and I went to see it, how close it was to you. That's Keith, he, you know.
Yeah. He's on Webster Street.
He just bought the house. He actually bought, it was a guy, Urban Properties house. And he's renovating. He's doing a lot of work to it. That's Lisa right there.
Here's Karen coming. Hi. You know David.
Yeah. The grants again.
Dave, how you doing?
Good to see you. Don't worry. Good to see you. Good to see you. Great. Make the rounds.
Back is Karen Cummins, she's in the bell. Lisa Sprans is on the video. She's in
Folks, I'm in Boston today.
Office Vineyard. Neil Abramson's son is graduating from college, so he won't be here. Karen Raymond is in the building, so she'll be here in a minute. That'll give us form initiative. Take that, Howard.
But you want me to sit? Where's my person?
They are there.
Okay. I'll go around.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, how are you? How are you? Good seeing you.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you. And I recognize your voice from the, yes, yes.
Baby Kirsten.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Okay, it's 2:00, and Police is on the video. We have Karen Raymond, David Kirstein, myself, Paul Flower, David Donlow, and Dana Innes. Here's, we have a forum. Neil Abramson's son is graduating from college, and he was unable to attend. So if I can call the meeting to order, and the first thing I'd like to do is get an approval of the agenda. And moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. Each of you was sent three things, number of things earlier this week. One being the minutes, which does anybody, which I hope everybody's had a chance to read. Does anybody have any changes or issues with that? And entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Okay, and then finally, you were also sent the quarterly report to read. Are there any issues or questions or comments about the quarterly report?
Motion to approve the quarterly report.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the quarterly report. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Quarterly report is approved. Okay, with that, I'd like to move into the presentation section of the agenda. And the first on the agenda is a report on the Fair Share financial update.
Everyone actually, CIO's office, just doing a little update on the infrastructure maintenance fund and the Fair Share. Sorry about the kind of size of the font here.
But each of you all have that in your handouts, and so go ahead, please.
But I think since I was last here, we had last time I was here, I think we had January and February numbers. During a follow-up email, I think we provided those March numbers. And we have April numbers now. So Lost Penny is 1.6 million, slightly less than last year. Sewage and Water Board STR is $1 million, just significantly less than last year. And then the NOCO STR is 43,000, which is also a good bit less than last year. Our finance team is confirming the May numbers. They will be out today, so I'll have a follow-up email for you with those numbers, hopefully by end of day or early tomorrow morning. Those are really the only updates on finances right now.
Okay, the change in the STR from last year was $1.3 million for the month of April. That has nothing to do with, I mean, we're past Super Bowl at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Would think that Jazz Fest and other things would have buoyed that a little bit more. I'm sure.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that Airbnb is only now reporting on approved STRs?
It could be.
Does anybody have any questions on this? We'll just look at this. I just about 5 and 7.7 months. So we might get close to 24 million for the year, although the summer months are going to be slow. Although I will say the hotels that I'm involved with in May was an extremely good month, so it may not drop that much in May anyway. Any other questions? Anything else you have? Okay.
The Fairshare website during the transition has fallen a little bit behind, so working to get that completely kind of updated, and so that'll be ready for the next meeting of Fairshare. We'll have all the correct board members and just all the correct documents on there.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the, I'm sorry?
Yeah, correct. So you give them the clicker.
New Orleans parcel fee, City of New Orleans. LJ or Steve?
Yeah, thank you. We've had some discussions around stormwater fee. Obviously, there's the discussion of a parcel fee. And I think right now we had a presentation with the board of directors yesterday at their Finance and Administration Committee meeting about approving the path forward to have Raftellus explore a parcel fee to look at the use of a funding structure to cover the stormwater fee. So using the engine behind the stormwater fee that's currently in place with the equivalent residential units, the ERUs, and then looking at the ability to fold in full repairs to the public right of way. So looking at trip generation as a potential engine for revenues around repairs to sidewalks and streets, things that are associated with public water and sewer infrastructure, and how to do that in a way that does not add cost to those who are already paying to the system, but brings into the fold those nonprofits that are currently not paying into the system. This would be Raftellus has proposed $123,000 at a timeline of 8 weeks, and of course, speed is of the essence to ensure that we can get the answers around where has this been done before, are there other models that would work, would this not work, does it fit within Louisiana law, and how would this affect those who are not paying into the system, and what would be the uses of the funding. LJ?
Yeah, I would just bring folks, I think, skipping ahead a little bit, so we've had a chance to talk to each one of you on the IAB, as well as at this current moment, 8 out of the 10 directors on the Sewage and Water Board of Directors, and we've heard comments, we've heard feedback, we've heard questions, which we really appreciate, because at the end of the day, this ask is to have Raftellus keep looking into both the rate and then the mechanism behind the trip generation or the right-of-way improvements. And so I say that to say, your questions are valuable as we, go forward with this. We want that to kind of guide where they go with their analysis. And so, we wanted to highlight two questions here that we heard a few times. So first, what are we trying to do with this extension? Outright, we are trying to make the proposal as strong as it can be before it has to go to the New Orleans Council and before it has to go inevitably to the voters in the city of New Orleans. And so looking at a proposal, the rate structure itself, making sure that it is equitable, making sure that those who are already contributing don't have to contribute more, capturing those who are not contributing. We have found over numerous calls that there needs to be a second look at the rate structure itself. And then the second piece is how can Sewage and Water Board pass this contract amendment and why should it? And what we've thought through and put down in this paper is, first and foremost, we find that this proposal to strengthen the inevitable rate is great. To see that go through, to see that be adopted by the city of New Orleans, having a stronger proposal is imperative. And then additionally, this relationship between the right-of-way and drainage is inextricable and certainly understood, just kind of innately by the residents of the city of New Orleans. They know that when their road is busted, it might not appropriately distribute the runoff to catch basins or you name it. And so for those two reasons, we've kind of laid out this is an apt use of the dollars. As far as the contract itself, that falls in line with the spirit of when the IMF, the IAB, and the Fair Share Agreement was created. And we're looking forward to answering a lot more of the questions that folks are bringing, and we want to hear them all. So.
Thank you. Any questions about this? Any comments?
I do, but I think we can talk about them at a later time, because they're more, I think, in the weeds than what we're looking into right now.
Well, I can just make one comment. There's no doubt that we need a significant additional funds, and this group espoused having a fair way to do it, where the burden is shared and that we don't impact homeowners and that we don't overburden high-value buildings that are already paying way more than what they contribute to the problem. So I applaud you on that. I think this is fine to do this. Could I have a motion to approve?
Hey, could I just say something quickly, Paul?
Yes.
Just real quick, and I agree with everything you just said. Do we share a common understanding that if Raftellus comes back with information that says parcel fee doesn't work in New Orleans, makes it too complicated, whatever the data says and whatever the public policy decisions that are teed up by it, do we all agree that the stormwater fee component of this proposal plus the bundling of the millages to be extended, that's kind of a baseline? And then if this parcel fee idea has legs and can work and is legal and all of that, that's in addition to the stormwater fee?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that there are significant currently unfunded needs that require a dedicated source of revenue in the drainage system.
Okay.
Might also, before we do take a vote on this, thank the Sewage and Water Board, and I'll put the covering email in your packet, but I'll send the entire packet to the Sewage and Water Board sent us, and that does allocate, as we asked for last time, or tell us how this drainage, what the drainage needs are, and should a fee or additional revenue come in, how it would be spent. So appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
I move that we approve the request from the city to add $23,000 to the fee.
I second it.
Is there any discussion? Without any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, so that carries. LJ or Steve, do you have anything else you'd like to go on?
No, thank you all very much. Look forward to getting the questions answered and moving this all forward expeditiously.
We'd love to keep meeting, really. We'd love to keep this conversation going, please. We can schedule things and continue this conversation. So thank you all, really.
I think we would too. You know, this is, Raftellus has got all this data. It's the right place to go to explore ideas. We'd love to continue the conversation also.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Next on the agenda is the infrastructure update from the Surgeon Waterfall. Randy, okay. We need to get two of those, right?
Absolutely. We're doing a tight ship.
Okay. Yes, stormwater tree update. We've reviewed completed the following tasks. Reviewed the area imagery. We've digitized the impervious area data. We developed a tiered stormwater tree proposal that you're aware of. We've developed a preliminary customer assistance program to address affordability concerns. We've developed a preliminary credit program for incentives, reducing stormwater runoff, and we share a stormwater fee proposal with the administration, as you are aware. Now, it does leave unmet needs. Okay, I'll go through what our unmet needs are. Under the current system, we have the major system O&M. We have some major system improvements we're able to do. We have some major system O&M improvements, paying off debt, seal obligations. But we do have an unmet portion. And that's what we're trying to address. So there you have the minor system O&M, canal cleaning, repair, major drainage pump maintenance, electric upgrades, green infrastructure, general facility upgrades, and shared overhead. All of these are very important, especially when we look at major drainage pump maintenance and all. And so there's $50 million of unmet need.
Annually.
Annually.
That's annual. And before we go to the next slide, the minor drainage O&M, does that cost based on an assumption of 20% of the system a year?
Yes, it should be.
Thanks.
Randy, on the maintenance, is this all work that you would outsource, or do you guys do a lot of that insourcing for the maintenance?
It's a small section, most of it's insourced.
It depends. We have an incredibly talented facility maintenance team, right? So if you give them the supplies and the tools, they can do a lot of really incredible things. It would just depend on the item, right? So the district bills that, have been in news a lot lately, that would certainly be a capital project we would need contractor support for. But some things are, a lot of stuff we do send out, bearings, right, motor rewinds, the larger items like that, but we can do a lot in-house too. It just depends on the topic.
And the availability of the time of those people, or is that like there's a backlog because they don't have enough time because they're putting out the fires?
Personnel and tools and materials, right? So sometimes it does cost a lot to buy this, and if you have to go out to bid also, that takes that's a component of it as well.
Okay, we're in alignment with the city. The combination of drainage taxes and stormwater fees should be used to support the drainage system. We support the idea of consolidating our 3 current taxes into a single tax at the same combined rate. And we're also in alignment with the city that the use of stormwater fees should be used to supplement existing drainage revenue. So other considerations next set. Pending expiration of 6 mills drainage in 2027, continue recurring meetings with SWIFNO, city's administration, and city council to refine the stormwater fee rate structure. And as you're aware, we're having those meetings now. We continue to do so. At the direction of the administration, the stormwater fee will be one part, as Steve noted, of the broader approach to address infrastructure needs that will include taxes, stormwater fee, and a parcel fee. The drainage fee funding estimated 18.9, the actual is 9.5. 2026 estimated 10.5. To date, it's been 5.1 million. January to April, IMF 25%, 1.5 million. That's average monthly collection of 428K. The traffic camera escrowed amount, 34.4 million. That's June to December 25. Net collected, average monthly collection about 178K. City is considering possible bond funding for drainage repairs. Now we look at where we are as far as progress. In 2026, year to date with the contractor, we had 577 basins done. In 2026, in-house 929, in total about 1,500. We look at drainage lines clean, contractor 3.0 miles, the in-house 3.5, a total again of 6.5. Debris removed, we have 1.1 with the contractor, 296,000 in-house, in total about 1.4. And so it is a combination again of in-house and contractors, and we try to strategize and use them as it's best, most effective.
Randy, so I know the first 3 months of the year we did very little work, so this is really just April and May, I'm assuming, or Caitlin, you know, Caitlin?
Yeah, the majority really is in April and May. So for context, last year we cleaned almost 9,000 catch basins with 10.5 million pounds. I think we'll be on track to do that based on us getting started around the same time as we did last year with the contract.
So, gotcha, so the pace is gonna pick up.
Yes, yes. No, I realize that looks like a small number right now,
Yep.
but we've
Yep.
recently.
Okay. Want to confirm?
Yep.
Just before we get too far with this minor drainage funding, what explains the difference between the estimated and the actual amounts for 2025 and 2026 looks like it's on track, but 2025, I think.
2025, there were additional sources of revenue that were communicated from the city. So 5 million additional fair share. Traffic camera was a higher estimate.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of just two different sets of estimates.
That were lower than anticipated then at the end of 2025. Was expected. Okay, thank you.
With the lead service line replacement, you see that the program management firm has been selected as no CDM. We're in the final negotiations and the completion of the contract, rapid start design with contracts going out in 2026. Senate Bill 268 passed. That's the municipal ordinance for access, to allow us access to the property. And as you probably know, we're dealing with a public-private, the line from the main to the property line, public, the line further is private, and so we had to have the rights and ability to go onto private property or use private funds. The first one is for us to have the access, and then 228 allows us to use the funds and that way use public money for private purposes. We also, as kind of belts and suspenders, were able to obtain a favorable Attorney General opinion, allowing us to use public money on private property.
You might be able to do that without the constitutional amendment.
That is what we believe is going to be the case. We're going to continue to have our legal team analyze that. And that's why I say it's more of a belts and suspenders. They should be independent of each other. We'll finalize and make that review.
Thank you.
So HYDRAC pilot tests for inspections, that's 45 locations, and service line inspections of 61 public playgrounds have been completed. So keep in mind, we were always working on the public playgrounds, the schools, and all. We will continue to go forward with that. But now we have the ability to do the broader branch of the neighborhoods and all. Only 2 service lines contain lead. When we looked at the 61 public playgrounds, only 2 required lead replacement.
Yeah. So on the power complex, I didn't get the slide that I wanted in here. We presented this at the Public Works Committee though on Tuesday, and I was really wanting to make the formal announcement that Turbine 4 has been retired.
Been waiting to hear that.
I know, we need some balloons, all the things. So, you know, I'm looking up a slide that you don't have here, but it is retired after 73 years of service. It was 109 years old and worked at the Sturgeon Water Board from 1950 to 2026. So,
Would you mind telling Gallo that I'm not old and been that?
no, we're very thankful for its service. It served the city very well for many years. We're really excited to be able to say that it has done its job, and we were able to replace it with new technology. The photo that you see here is actually of turbine 7, which is not replacing turbine 4. Turbine 7 is a 60 hertz backup turbine, but well, it's not really an either, but I've got some other photos that you've seen at other times of the new frequency changers. And so all 3 of those are in service, commissioned, using them as we need to.
Right, congratulations. When 7 goes online, does that give you 50% redundancy?
So
150% redundancy?
Turbine 6 and turbine 7 are in the event that we don't have energy power.
Okay, so that you've got 100% redundancy.
Then we would have, well, we would be able to power 2 frequency changers with 2 turbines.
Okay.
That's what would, so if the substation was not available, which is the primary source of power for the frequency changers,
Right.
then we would use the 60 hertz turbines. I know we don't do a good job of explaining those, but, right, so right now we have 1 backup turbine for 60 hertz power. We'll have a second, and we will also have turbine 5 for 25 hertz power alone, which will be in backup. So we're continuing to add to our redundancy.
So enough to run the entire system,
Yes. When we have, yes.
but not with no contingency in effect.
Oh, right, but we've met, I don't know if that would be N plus 1 or if that would be N, but we've met what we need to do. I mean, ultimately, you know, there were previous plans of having turbine 8 and turbine 9, you know, that may not be the direction we go at this point, just based on funds and need to prioritize them for a different reason or for different purposes. But if energy was not available, we would be able to back up the 3
To the system, got it, no,
Yeah.
The backups they have now are much more reliable.
much more, yeah.
So
No, it's one. How many years before you find out how much money you're saving on this power? If you get power this way versus where we were?
Yeah, I think we'll have a better idea after this year. Everything was commissioned and fully in place. We were still using turbine 5 a very little bit this spring, not very much, but we'll be able to have a better idea at the end of this year. Excuse my grammar.
I mean, the projections were between 5 and 10 million. It'd be interesting to see what it turns out.
Yeah, and we still have to, you know, pay for gas and reserves and things like that. So, but we'll be able to do that evaluation at the end of this year. Yeah. Yeah, and so just, you know, we are anticipating June, July for turbine 7. That's based on the availability of OEM, which is Solar Turbines, to be able to come in. They'll actually be here next week. So hopefully we have some good progress there. And then in terms of continuing the work, I mean, this is excellent. I sleep a lot better now that this is in place. I truly do. But we're not done, right? We've still got other projects. The capital outlay funding that we received last year and has been reauthorized is for the fuel forwarding system, so we can have even more robust backup fuel. And for the turbines, black start generator for, you know, that condition we just talked about where we don't have energy. And then still anticipating a, you know, summer agreement with the state for the HERO funds. That is, you know, kind of incrementally working, but we're in close contact with the state about that. And that would allow us to fund the new the operations center, which is something kind of near to me, to be able to get our staff into our control room. All right. Talk a little about last month, is this me or is this you? Okay.
So at our April board meeting, we formally presented the results of the Water Master Quality Plan. The plan was completed over a 2-year period, identifies critical system needs, prioritized risk-based path was to go forward. It will act as lays out a 5-year capital plan as well as a 3-year capital plan. The entire plan is posted on our website.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about this, but I think we can formally say now that the state capital outlay application that we put in last year for $50 million over 5 years for critical water treatment plant repairs was funded at $9.5 million. Definitely appreciate the city's efforts. I know that was one of their priorities for the legislative session, so appreciate Stephen Leo if you were involved in that. That's huge. That will allow us to begin three projects around some filter gallery upgrades, intake stations, and lime storage facilities. So that's really great. While we're continuing to work on designs and look for funding for the rest of the program, which is going to be significant. We haven't talked too much about that here, but it's a $1.5 to $2 billion over the next 30 years to be able to do what we need to do there. So lots more to come on that. But in the short term, we'll be doing these projects. And we did start the corrosion control pilot test that I think we may have mentioned here in this format. That is a project that we're doing in the Algiers system. We're adding zinc orthophosphate to the water treatment process there. It is really just expanding on the existing corrosion control process and will help improve or support improve corrosion resistance in the event that we have another saltwater intrusion event that would more likely impact the Algiers water intake before it impacted the East Bank. So we're starting in Algiers to see how that goes to add kind of improved corrosion benefit. And that was one of the recommendations of the Water Quality Master Plan. So that officially started on Monday. On the immediate action plan, a couple of updates here. I hope everybody is feeling less stressed about driving down Claiborne Avenue right now. We did complete repairs on 2 leaking joints on that Brent at Claiborne and 3rd. And then Steve had to go ruin my day and point out that there's 2 others down the street, but we know about them. No, I'm giving you credit for it. We know about them. We're working on it, and we're investigating them. So we did get that work done though, and sorry, take a pause there. So that's a success. One of the other immediate repairs that was on our list was at 4801 Florida, right in front of EMR Southern Recycling. There was a water leak that had been reported to us there. We thought that was on a larger main. Turns out it was on a 6-inch line. We fixed that. Are also fixing a sewer issue in that area as well. The RFI, we did receive 27 responses from 15 companies. And last week, we actually went ahead and were able to do the satellite leak detection. So really excited to see the results of that. I do not have that yet.
You did the satellite?
The satellite,
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So next time we meet, I'll be excited to share the results of that. I don't have that right now, but looking forward to seeing that.
When would you finish on 4?
The inline assessment, that's going to take us a little bit longer to do, I think we're still working through that process with the vendor, Xylem, is who we're working for, who we'll be working with. That takes a little bit more planning in order to determine where to put the, either the smart mall or the tethered equipment. And so may have to install either fire hydrants on a larger main or figure out where to put it in. I think that's the challenge that we're having. But we do have acoustic leak detection, which we use on a regular basis. And when we put these lines into service, on Willow recently, we went out and we did an acoustic sweep of that area just to make sure that there wasn't something missing and didn't have an increased problem.
Where you going here?
Yeah.
Since this is part of determining the condition. Any possibility of 1.5 million that we allocated to do all of this work could be, should we be lucky enough to get the 219 funding, could that be our 25% match?
That's my hope. That's, I think, our expectation is that would be.
And the Corps would just take over the data that we have.
Yeah, we're working together as a team, on that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
Quick quick update on the fund status. Happy to report to the board on the minor drainage piece. That's the incremental got taken over at the beginning of January 2025. Almost 7.5 million has been received to date through the fair share. And then the original 75% inception to date, almost 100 million. So you see that approaching that milestone there. So very, very helpful. And in April, the numbers were 1.3 million and 417,000 for those two different pieces, respectively. Expenditures to date, 75.5 million, and we allocated 88.6 million. And the most recent expenditures were the water main breaks, so that, again, provided flexibility and commit those funds to the contractors we needed there on an emergency basis. So that's all from the finance.
You have expended the 3 million on water main breaks?
Not quite all of it, but majority is it. We haven't been billed everything, but.
I think you bought was 1.5 for the investigation, 3 million for water leaks, and you haven't spent it all, but a lot of it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then just our last slide, this is not changed as last time we looked at this, but providing the kind of forward-thinking look ahead regarding, I think we talked last time about wanting to make sure that we're focused on, these assessments, right? And that has been a large part of what this, group has funded, and I think has been really successful. So we're not there yet in coming back to y'all for any additional projects. I would anticipate in Q3 or Q4, we would be looking for that support of the 25% match for the capital outlay dollars. So that would be our request there. So we'll be coming back in Q3 for that.
Well, that 25% match was assuming, I'm looking at your water treatment immediate priorities, 25%. Was that when you thought 219 was going to be 10 million? Is this related to?
No, I'm sorry, it's the capital outlay.
Oh,
so the capital
so we
outlay
have a match.
also
Are
requires.
you asking for that today? Or?
No, we are not asking for that
Okay,
today.
this is just in the future. Okay.
Yep. Just a snapshot into the future, but no formal request today.
Hill River concept. What is that?
Yeah.
That's not the bend.
No. So there's we have multiple water intake stations, and I think we'll actually be able to take that off of the list. But with the capital outlay, I'm sorry, we'll actually be helping to rehabilitate the piping there, and so I think we've been able to address the pumps separately. Yeah. So I'll double check that for the next time.
Anybody have any questions?
What's the acronym, that VPSA?
Oh, we talked about this last time and I messed it up. Variable pressure swing absorption? So it creates oxygen is what it does. I know it does. It creates oxygen. Instead of having to buy oxygen for wastewater treatment uses, it creates it on site. Yeah. I remember we talked about this last time. I did not update this properly, so shame on me for that.
The balance of what is in our package is prior expenditures. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Thank you very much. I appreciate the presentation. Any public comments?
No.
Any other business? Okay, if not,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
we have moved and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you all. Really
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you very much.
No, I know. I've seen you in City Hall for sure, but I walked in, I was like, yes, okay. You're like on our team, I know that, but also I don't know if I know you, so.
Yes, we're your name about it, so.
It's good to meet you.
Everything good?
Great.
Choose here. Nancy's gonna have to get into it.
Yeah, that's like the cost of all services, is that what they offer to lenders?
Well, they lowered the expected reduction.